Hello, welcome to Build It Projects, where we ruin perfectly good motorcycles. And I'd like to say this is a perfectly good motorcycle, but unfortunately the battery keeps going flat, which we've got to have a look at. It's destined to go on a beach race, and the whole fairing and handlebar position and everything else isn't really suitable for that. So we can do some random stuff to it in an attempt to make it survive the event, or at least not make the rider too uncomfortable. Okay, I don't really like the idea of a front mud guard, because if you get a load of sand caught up underneath that, that's going to make it beyond unpleasant, isn't it? Because you'll be lying on your nose on the beach and get sand up your nose. Usual inevitable question of how does it come off? One less thing for the sand to get caught in. Like that. Never realised that there were cable ties. That was broken. Oh. Okay. It's such a silly little snap ring, you can in fact take it off with your fingers. But we'll put it back on, shall we? Is this one going to come off? Yes. Right, the problem as I see it here is that it needs handlebars. So, seeing as these are left over from something, somewhere at some time, and they'll sort of get us up. That'll do. So basically, my theory is drill a couple of holes in that, turn up some aluminium spacers, make some big washers to go underneath, clamp it all down with the fine N10 thread Japanese nuts. Stunningly easy. Tappy tap tap. Other times, what you need is a pair of side cutters. They might be wondering, we might not be wondering, why I didn't take the switch off or I took the lock off. And the answer is, the switch is maintained by security bolts. And basically you do them up and the head snaps off, and it's over to the vise and undo it with chisel or centre punch. Ow! There we go. Man, that was an effort. The next thing is, we're going to put some holes in this. They won't be big enough to get some nuts on the bottom of. So, we'll put about some 10mm nuts in it. By which I mean 10mm thread size, which is 17mm spanner size. The risers we've got, wherever they've got metric yeah, Japanese fine threads on it. So they'll, if I can eventually find the nuts, they'll be 14 mil. Now we'll find the nuts, I've got them all over the place. They're just loosely distributed around the place rather than actually being anywhere. So that wants to be, make it 16 mil, 15 mil, 15 mil, 15, 16 mil, 16 mil. Yeah, 16 mil works. Basically, we've got to get some nuts up in there, which is going to be drilling some holes in here. So there's a bit of work I have to do to arrive at a destination. And in an ideal world, with a following wind, it'll be equally spaced. So the power of the mighty Sharpie to scribble over all this. Isn't that impressive? You know, like cell words become like the, I don't know what the actual thing is, the actual sort of generic name for a thing. It's like vacuum cleaners or hoovers. Sharpies, pen, felt, in England we tend to call them felt pens. Americans tend to call them Sharpies. So they might, once you've used them a few times, you can see that they may actually have mastered the art of making felt tip pens. And I'm going to set it to something like 16. It doesn't matter if I set it to exactly 16 or not, because it's going to be used to mark both sides. Right, genius. And there's a recess in the middle there. There's a ruler here. There can be some debate about whether you want to put it somewhere comfortable and the rest of it, but that only applies if you're actually making the yoke. Once you've got this, once you're here, I'm sort of stuck with this way. In reality, I suppose I could make a plate go on there and bolt that on because it's got legs sticking up through, but I'm just rambling now, so I'm going to shut up. Let's go with 3.5 inches then. So that's like 1 inch 3/4, so that's there. Great. Let's go drill some holes. I need some holes in here. The question is what size holes. Turns out these are 12 mil. Now I'm not drilling the hole to take the nut, I'm drilling the hole to take the shaft. Then I'm going to put shape washer underneath it. So the nut tightens up against shape washer, pulls the shaft down into the hole in the yoke, which is going to be on size, and then we'll machine a spacer to go between there and where this piece of rubber used to be. So there's an aluminium spacer that goes in there. So that's the plan, people. I'll eventually track down 12 mil drill. Looking at it, we'll probably drill cheese, so it might be alright. Cheesy. Of course, it's all. Oh, a piece of wood would be nice. Then again, that's like that, but that. Let's just do that like that. Patience was wearing thin. It would have made a better window than it would a door. Yes. Nice tight fit in there. Toughness thing. get somebody in the leg. So story so far, we've converted the handlebars to handlebars, taken a whole load of the plastic off, sawn the rear of the frame off, discovered that the end of the exhaust is pretty rotted, found another exhaust, found some pipe to sort that out. Next thing to do is probably take the cables off, and I'm going to have to go see Martin and get some longer ones, because that's the throttle cable and it don't go anywhere near reaching. The other day I built the blackjacks, but it's like the Tower of Babel out there just now, but it all seems to have quietened down. So, job now to take the tank off, done the bars, cables don't reach, obviously, got to make some hoses. Source some cables, or at least see if we can reroute the existing ones. There. Okay, the context of going sand racing this, that is the air intake. I'm seeing as that's a problem, so it comes up through there into the air box here. So I think we're going to take these off. Don't think you're going to be going fast enough for the ram air to have an effect. Dear Mr. Honda, I suspect this might be a tad overcomplicated. That ain't reaching nowhere in hell. Right, so boot of the car, see if the Honda Hornet one fits. That ain't gonna work. But the carburetors weren't actually attached to the engine. Again, didn't want that anyway. Groovy. It's got to go somewhere different now. So far so good. You're only about half an inch or so. We'll try and do this here. So there you go. That bit came out. We'll take a bit more than half an inch off of that. This is going to be an eyeball half inch, not a measured half inch. Do you know what? That's about as much use as a chocolate teapot. Whew. And there you go. Now it remains just to get that bit off. Important to make sure your finger's not in the way. Oh wow. If you're thinking, why don't you just go and buy a cable? I just did go and buy a cable. This is the cable I went and bought. This is on there as it's going to get. Put that on the head. We're sort of looking at that, aren't we, really? A little bit further up than that, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so made the flange for there. Got a bit of a leaky pipe. That might be a bit brutal actually. That's better. Well, that's very well under control. That's that front tyre that I found. Got to tidy all this lot up yet. In the process of bleeding the brakes for the new braided lines. I'll do a little braided line thing at some point. Back wheels out. There's the new one with, well, it's not new wheel, it's the same fucking wheel. There's the new wheel with a new tyre on it. Yeah, so a little bit more assembly. Battery's playing up, and it turns out that the fuel tap leaks. At this point, things were getting a little tight for time, so I didn't really get a chance to video much of the rest of it. I made this bracket that holds up front mudguard, keep that clear of the front wheel. I made another bracket that holds an aluminium plate on the front to keep the wiring looking tidy. And that was pretty much finished. May came along and took it away, and she seemed very happy with it. So there you have it, one sand racer. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, like it, comment. Comments are good because YouTube likes a bit of engagement. And when I look the following window, I shall see you in the next video. Take care, people.